Yo, what's up, guys? Good morning, everyone. And today we're going to be going over a new marathon article by Marathon's number one fan, Paul Tassi. Is that how you say that? I think so. Anyway, we're going to go over this article today, and we're just going to go over it, and I'm going to get my thoughts on it. So let's do that. I'm honestly a little surprised that we haven't seen more leaks out of the NDA'd marathon alpha that's been running, because that's what the threat of legal action will do. It also signifies that maybe that's what Bungie should have done with the last alpha, as originally planned, as we may have avoided that whole negative news cycle. Um, yes and no, because regardless, I think you would have been making articles on it, NDA or not. And second of all, I think I think it's a good thing that it did come out. As you know, I'm glad that they got rid of the NDA, is what I'm trying to say, because if they didn't, we would have never seen the plagiarism that came with that. And if they would have fully released this game and none of the development team noticed the stolen artwork, they would have been cooked 100%. So I think it's good that we did get this out early and that people caught on to the plagiarizing, because if not, Bungie would have been in probably a lot more trouble than they already are. So I don't fully agree with that. This info is from Twitter user It's Roxiza, who says that they have not signed an NDA, but have access to information and now deleted images. He says Bungie contacted him to delete the images, and while not legally required to do so, he did it to be nice. I did save them. I'm not going to actually post them here for a similar reason, but I'll talk about what was shown. I've seen the shots too, by the way, but obviously I'm not gonna show them. But I've seen the shots. A series of outdoor screenshots show a much more finished look with more density and far more lighting than the last alpha, confirming large improvements have been made not all that long after the last test. There's a shot of what appears to be blue blood pooling in water after a player death, similar to what we've seen in the cinematics. There also appears to be at least experimentation with actual enemy corpses left on the map after death, albeit with the duffel bag still present. These reflect player complaints from the alpha, as it seemed out of step with all the promotion to have enemies simply evaporate. So I haven't seen these changes yet. Like I haven't seen any videos or pics about that, but I have seen the I have seen the images that It's Roxiza has posted. And yeah, I'm not gonna lie, it does look a lot better than the alpha. I personally like the graphics from the alpha. I just always assumed that they were gonna improve it before full release anyway, so I wasn't too worried about it. But yeah, from what we've seen in those pictures, it does look a lot more better, especially with the lighting as well. And they added a lot more what's the word? They just added a lot. They added a lot more environmental assets to the game. There's a lot more grass and trees and stuff like that as well. And see here, the black market has materials exchange where you can trade higher tier ones for lower tier. They have new icons. Black market has material exchanges where you can trade higher tier ones for lower tier. I'm trying to regulate things. Okay, so the black market has materials exchange where you can trade higher tier ones for lower tier. They have new icons. Okay, so I'm guessing this is here for, let's say you have a high attachment item. Maybe let's say it's for a sniper, but you prefer SMGs, so you would sell the higher tier sniper attachment for a lower tier SMG one. So you can kind of consistently have like a sort of build that you like with certain weapons and whatnot. I'm guessing that's what this is. The map legend now more clearly says where things like anomalies and bosses are. The map legend, okay. I don't know what this is. That sounds weird, but like, I thought it was always kind of obvious where anomalies and bosses were at. But I don't know. I haven't seen it, so maybe it'll make sense once I see it. There's a new sniper called the V99 China rifle, which takes vault sal ammo, handles similarly to the TF2 sniper. Timefall 2? I'm guessing that's Timefall 2 and not Team Fortress 2, right? Resurrection timers are a lot longer. That's good. This is a really good change here. You were able to res teammates pretty freely in the alpha from what I remember, and also If you were void, you can also just go void, go invis, and get a free res a lot of the time if the team you were going against weren't really aware of what was going on. So I think this is a pretty big change, and I think it's a welcoming one, especially since this is an extraction shooter, right? We want to punish players that aren't playing well. We don't want to just get infinite reses and keep the fight going on and on and on, because that would happen. There was times where we would down a team like 2 different times, but the fights would just last forever, bro. The new medic runner has the ability to give a players a heal drone that follows them to restore health over time. They can also drop medkits set to play similarly to Apex's lifeline. Wow, that sounds really busted, actually. Whoa. Yeah, that sounds like a top tier like character. Like if you don't have that character on your squad, you're kind of throwing, bro. I'm not too sure how I feel about this one, but I guess it depends how much the heal drone is healing them and how much. Oh, they're med kits, right? There's different med kits. A med kit's a med kit. Like that's still really good, especially in a game where resources are a big deal. So I'm really curious to see how they balance this. As I always said, leaks aren't leaks when they are positive. I mean, not really, and y'all should not break your NDAs. But here we are, and all of this sounds like improvements from the last public alpha, and relatively quick changes being made/tested. This is obviously not everything. Bungie said there will be further tests before release, though with the mix of NDA and invite only and eventually public test will not be confirmed. Will be is not confirmed. Bungie has not given a new marathon release date, but says it will this fall. It's likely to be before the end of the 2025 fiscal year, which ends in March. We'll see just how many changes and additions Marathon can get before that release, and if they might change its fortunes. All right, well, that's the article. And I mean, yeah, like I said, I've seen the pictures, I've seen the leaks. They really did go hard on the environmental changes, and it looks a lot better from the alpha. I will say that, but it's still obviously a work in progress. So it's gonna get polished up even more than they're already doing, obviously. And then he just stated too, we don't have a release date yet. I think they said in October or September, right? So October or September, they're gonna set a new release date or announce it, I believe. So yeah, before March, that's all we know. But yeah, I mean, hopefully they can turn around the public perception of this game, because I really love this game. I like it a lot. I like what I've played. I've spent maybe like close to 80 hours in the alpha, and I've never put time like that into any alpha ever. It was a ton of fun, and it's got me into content creating again, and I really love the game. So that's all I got for you guys today, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.